Hello. Happy Saturday. We're here on an unusual day of the week for an unusual stream. I'm going to be changing some strings on my harp here. I try to replace the top 2 octaves every year. And basically I've been putting this off for about 2 months at this point, so that's what we're doing today. Would I rather be playing Zelda? Yes. However, it's Eric's turn to have the Switch, so I'm here changing strings with all of you. So thanks for being here and keeping me company, because it can get a little bit tedious when I'm just doing it by myself. So good to see you. I want to say hi to Foreman Spike Caladrius, Ectobast. Good to see you, Annie. Narioril. Sorry, I couldn't read that while standing up. Aki. Good to see you all. Yes, we have a little string counter. I don't know. Thought that would be fun. Standing next to my harp seems so unnatural. I know it's not the usual. It's not the usual setup. But now you can all see how tall I am. I'm pretty tall, as it turns out. But yeah, we'll just get right to it, I guess. I don't think there's anything particularly interesting to talk about except for Zelda. Let's all remember not to write any spoilers in the chat, because it's a new game. And I'm sure there's lots of people who haven't, played that much of it yet, including me. But suffice it to say, I'm really enjoying Zelda. Let me see, 1, 2, I'm going to change my 3rd octave E first because it broke the other day. I think it's really fun. I really enjoy the new mechanics. I think there's a lot of cool stuff that feels really fun to explore. I think that was one thing before Tears of the Kingdom came out. I was like, how are they going to, replicate that feeling of like adventure and exploration after we've already explored all of Breath of the Wild's map? And I think they actually are doing a very good job with that. There's some cool new stuff. I will not say any more than that, but it's cool and fun, and I like it. Another thing that I'm really enjoying about it is that Hyrule feels much more lived in to me than it did in Breath of the Wild. I think Breath of the Wild, kind of the point was that it was the wilderness. You're like out there on your own, like by yourself. But yeah, it feels like there's people around and they're affected by what's going on, which is cool. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the danger feels very real to me, which is, not to say that Breath of the Wild was never dangerous, because it definitely was. This string is new, it has like a notch in it. Okay, we won't use that end of the string then, we'll use the other end. Okay. But yes, I'm really enjoying it so far. There's lots to do. And yeah. The whole building system will probably lead to a bunch of really hilarious and interesting videos. I'm sure it will. Brandroid, nice to see you. Welcome back. Okay, I have all these string ends to use for my string knots, but honestly, I cut them too long when I cut them, so I have to trim them. Okay. Time to tie string knots. I don't really mind tying string knots anymore. I'm pretty used to it. But I know it's a very stressful activity for many students. Honestly, it took me a really long time to memorize how it's supposed to go. But greetings from St. Catharines, Ontario. All right. Very nice. My E string. String knots, my natural enemy. They're not that bad. They're not. Okay. Okay, let's see here. I am planning to go see the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie tonight, which is mostly because Eric wants to go see it. I'm like, but Zelda though. But we're gonna go see that, and we have to see some family as well before that, so yeah, I don't actually know how much I'm gonna get to play today. I'm just gonna be thinking about what I want to do next. Have any of you tried those button thingies that supposedly make the string knots easier? I have not tried it myself. I do know what you're talking about. I believe they're made by Dusty Strings. Maybe someone else is making them too now. I have no idea. But I have a student that uses them. Who I think he said he liked them. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like, why not? I suppose if you have a device that makes it so you don't have to tie knots. May as well. What a peace of mind. Sound of the strings being tuned up is amazing. It's kind of fun, hey? I always liked it. Once I put on a new string, I like to just stretch it out. Like so it will settle a little faster. I'm just going to tune it slightly sharp because it will continue to fall. About to go grocery shopping. Have a good grocery shop. Buy some healthy food. After I picked up my copy of Zelda yesterday, I went to get snacks. And I was so tempted to get popcorn, but I was like, no. I must get something slightly healthier because between last week and this coming week, I have a lot of gigs. So I had to play 2 hours on Wednesday. I played an hour, 75 minutes on Thursday. I have a gig later this afternoon. I have to play for 4 hours tomorrow because it's Mother's Day. And then I have one next Thursday as well. So I've been trying to be very, very careful about, taking care of my body, not overplaying, playing without too much tension. Trying to stretch and warm up properly. Trying to rest as much as I can. Even when playing Zelda, taking breaks, putting my controller down every now and then. Also, oh my god, I don't know if you can see the cats, but they're just snuggled up on the couch right next to each other, and it's so cute. Oh, adorable. But anyway, so I was like, okay, I need some snacks for when I'm playing Zelda, obviously. And, but yeah, I was like, oh, I kind of want to get popcorn. First of all, I have been trying to be a little more mindful about, what I eat and how many calories and whatever. I'm not on a diet or anything, just try not to overdo it. And, yeah, so I was like, okay, well that food, the popcorn anyway, the sugary, carby stuff, it's not good for inflammation, which is after I play a bunch and I'm sore, it's because my muscles and my connective tissue is inflamed. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to eat something that's going to make my inflammation worse. So I was looking up what food is good for inflammation. So I got chocolate covered almonds and strawberries because those are good for inflammation. So I'm trying to be good. Okay. Now, first decision to make is, do I want to be lazy and not replace the top 2 strings? Because I never play them anyway. Need to decide that. Busy week, yeah, for real. Bananas, apples, oats, you know it. Eat well, be well, exactly. That's how I feel about it too. I need to get more chia seeds. I ran out, so I can make more overnight oats. Danilo says, hello, thanks for the music exercise. I'm going to start using it on Monday. Cool, I have fun. I hope that is useful for you. I know I've really been enjoying using it with my students. Oh, Ectobast, you were doing first aid for an event and there ended up being an emergency. Well, it's a good thing you guys were there to help, I guess, right? Chocolate, almonds, and strawberries. Yeah. Gonna copy you? Okay. Sounds good. I was like, you know, I have to be careful not to eat the whole bag of almonds because, you know, like chocolate covered almonds are like also very high calorie, but like, yeah, it felt like a good combo for a snack while gaming. Okay, let me check my string chart. Okay, looks like I skipped changing the top 2 strings for like 2 years in a row. So maybe I'll replace them today. Kind of don't want to though. I don't know. I don't really ever play them, so it just makes me not want to do it. I don't know. The other thing is I only have half a length of the F string left, which means then I would need to like reorder it. Did I change? I didn't change the string counter. You're right, I didn't. Let me update that. 1. Fantastic. Okay. I think I'm gonna be lazy and I'm gonna skip the top 2 strings because I just don't want to do it. But I'll make a note to order that F string so that next time I do this, I don't have an excuse. Okay. And we should be good to go. First octave E. Here we go. Very nice. The count impression. 1. Okay. First octave E. I don't know why I have a first octave D in. No, it is nylon. Okay. I was like, why do I have a first octave string in gut? I don't. As it happens. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna do first octave E. I guess first thing I need to do is take the string off. Two days ago, I bought/ordered my first harp, a Kamak Excalibur. Very nice. It'll be half a year before you get it because you want a matte varnish, which isn't standard. You know, half a year for a new harp made to order is actually not bad. Although Kamak, in my experience, sometimes is a little slow. So if there's delays, that's pretty normal for them, I think. Especially with summer coming up and holidays in France. So I don't know. All right, goodbye, old E string. Hello, new E string. I'll get another Excalibur in the meantime, though, from the shop I bought it. Whoa. Just getting all the harps. Or are you renting it? Okay. String end. I have to trim this again because it's just a little long for my liking. Okay. So da 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 dum. Do 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 do. Ba ba da bum. All right. I usually tie my string knots slightly differently for the very high strings, just because like I find the regular string knot just slips out. So oh my god, are you kidding me? I put the string end on the wrong end of the string. Okay, you know, it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. So usually I always thread the string in through the front of the hole so that it's like much easier to get it. And so I should have done the string end on this end that's coming out the back, but instead I did on the front, so I have to just thread it through the back now. R.I.P. me. Okay, well, let's see if I can get us in there. Well, it's a little hard, but This is like literally the worst place that I could have done this. I'm gonna give it a good try. But if I can't get it, I will probably just cut the knot off or undo it, because I just... Actually, yeah, you know what? Let's just take the knot out. It's not worth it. It's too hard. Well, the first time I ever restrung my old harp, I didn't know about threading it through the front. I just didn't think of it. And I did it through the back for all of these high strings, and I was like, this is horrible. And it was, because it was very silly. Okay, all right. No need to struggle. Just undo the knot and redo it. Not a big deal. Okay. Crisis averted. Crisis averted. Okay. Here we go. All right. Get our string end back in there. If I left enough of a tail. It's kind of interesting though, y'all talking about like different abbreviations for CPR, first aid, whatever. I have never really done any first aid training. Only whatever they taught us like in gym class at school, but I don't remember most of it. I am not really good in a crisis. I kind of just freeze. I'm like, I guess that's the point of it. Like, if you do training, then you know what to do so you can act, but like, I don't know. Maybe I should do some first aid training at some point, though. It's a good thing to know how to do. All right, first octave E coming in here. I'm gonna try to push those tuning pegs in, because they tend to slip if I don't. Ooh, this is nowhere near close enough. Okay, is my knot coming undone is the next question. Yes, it is. Okay, I have to redo the knot again. That's okay. All right. That does sometimes happen with these top strings, is that because the string is so thin that it just comes undone really easily. Oh, the string end is gone. Just totally slipped out. Okay. Well, no wonder it wasn't holding its pitch then. My goodness. Okay, we'll go again, and we'll leave a little bit more tail so I can loop it around a few more times, and that should probably take care of it, hopefully. Okay. Third time's the charm, right? I used to freeze, but years of martial arts training pushed me more to the fight reaction. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. That does make quite a lot of sense. Okay, let's put a few more loops on this knot. You won't escape this time. If it's the last thing I do. Nah. If it escapes again, we'll do it again. But it should be okay. Okay, I want to get one more loop on here. Loop, loop, loop. Okay. You're not gonna get away this time. Now, I don't necessarily want to overstretch this, but I don't know. It's probably fine. Okay. teamwork in a crisis is important. That is true. I will say, like, Eric or Ragnar, my husband, has first aid training, so at least there's someone in the house with it, you know? Okay, this feels much better on the string now. Okay, I'll just stretch that out. A few times. Do I have to change every string or just some of them? I'm gonna be trying to change that, like, from here to here, because the thinner strings tend to kind of go bad faster than the other ones. I did skip the top two strings though, because I don't play them very much. And also, I don't really anticipate, because I only have about an hour to stream right now, so I don't really anticipate that we're gonna get through all of the strings that I want to change, but that's okay. We'll do what we can. The other day, New Legend of Zelda was released in Japan. It also is released the whole rest of the world. And I think a lot of people in here have probably started playing it, which is quite exciting. Okay, 0.5 left of that string. I always keep track of how much of each string I have so I know when to order more strings. Okay, and then we have to update our string counter. We have now changed 2 strings. Excellent. Does restringing the bigger strings affect the overall tension of the instrument? Yes. What really affects it more though is, like, if you leave a string, just like if a string breaks and you don't replace it right away, that really wreaks havoc on the overall tension. So you don't want to do that for a long period of time. I have also heard that, like, you should tune the lower strings first, because if you tune the higher strings and then you tune the lower strings after, it'll, like, change the tension on the instrument, and then your higher strings will be out of tune after that. So I don't know how much of an effect that really has, but that's what I do. Okay, so this D, no, this D is fine. We're gonna use this string next. Okay. I have to be careful to, like, stay organized, because, like, especially because the strings are very thin and they're clear, so it's easy to lose them if I'm not careful. Caladrius with the continued count impression. I thought restringing upright bass was tedious. Yeah, well, you know. It is what it is. Okay. I don't have to do the whole harp, just 2 octaves. This is why I've been putting it off though, because it's like, and then they have to settle, you know, and it's like, not super fun. Okay. Bass is the same way. If you change a string more than, like, a whole step, you have to retune the other strings. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I don't think it's quite that extreme if it's only, like, 1 string. Just because, like, there's so many other strings on the harp, but this is definitely the season where it's kind of funny. Like, in the summer, spring, summer, my bass wires go sharp and everything else goes flat. And then in the winter, well, everything goes flat anyway, except the bass wires change. So in the spring and summer, my bass wires go sharp, and then in the winter they go flat, which is kind of interesting. So So I can tell like when winter's really arrived, when the strings start going flat again. And of course, if you open a window, your harp's gonna go out of tune. It's so funny, like, it's just like kind of, it's something that I take for granted that like, yeah, if you keep your windows open, like your harp's not gonna be in tune. And sometimes I'll have students and they're like, I don't know why it's so out of tune, like I just tuned it. And I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna stay. That's not how this works. I wouldn't say the cats are sunbathing or today just because it's kind of cloudy, but they are enjoying a nice little snooze on the couch together. The bass going sharp and rest going flat is not just a me thing. Yeah, because the strings are made out of different materials, right? So they're going to react differently to changes in the humidity and temperature and all that. I think that's pretty normal. Harpist's life is 90% tuning and 10% playing out of tune. Ain't that just the truth? I also find that like harpist life is basically like, just stop complaining about things because it's annoying. It's like, yeah, it's a pain to move. I don't know, get used to it. Yeah, it's a pain to tune. I don't know, that's not changing anytime soon. Yeah, it's a pain, it won't stay in tune. Yeah, I don't know, it just is what it is. It's like, yeah, it's expensive to restring it. Actually, though, I will say, I do think that like a lot of our strings we don't have to replace as much as like a professional like violin or other string player necessarily. I know like I was talking to Patty Rudisil and I think she said she changes her strings like every 3 or 4 months. Whereas I don't think this knot is holding, guys. But I mean, like, I change my top octaves every year, but those ones are the cheap strings. The ones in the middle that are the most expensive, like, I'll let those stay on the harp for 5 years, assuming they don't break. Oh. Maybe my knot is gonna hold. That's nice. I joked to harpsichord that just like her, harps are very high maintenance. I think she would agree with you about harps. I think it's the part about her that she maybe didn't agree with so much. I'm Dutch. Complaining is in my blood. Is that a Dutch thing? I hadn't heard that stereotype. It's like oboe players complaining about reeds. Like, that's just part of the playing of the instrument. Yeah, it's true. It's so true. The other thing with harps, it's like, oh yeah, like just the harp just rattling. The harp just rattling and buzzing, and you just having no idea why, and not being able to do anything about it. That's just part of the life as well. Also, like, depending on where you live, another big part of harp life is like, you want to buy a new harp, and you're just like, either I have to spend like a lot of money to travel somewhere where I can try harps, or I have to just like order something sight unseen, which is like always a little scary too. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of the beast. Okay, Andy, have a good time playing Zelda. Okay, well, that's string number 3 complete, so we'll get that updated. That one was pretty fast. It's pretty good. Update my... Oh, actually, I have to make sure I update this as well. It is May 13th. I have to keep track of when I'm changing each string. Okay, so now I have 1 left of that string. Great. Okay. Galadriel says, I'm lucky to have a store 20-30 minute drive away. Yeah, that would be nice. Again, it depends where you live, right? If you live, I think in Europe it's probably easier because everything is just more populated and more like close together. I think if you live on like either the East Coast or the West Coast of the US, it's probably not that bad. If you live in the central North America, it's like, or other parts of the world where harp isn't as common, like, it's just like a little bit unavailable. Okay. This is now empty, so I can get rid of that. Okay. Aki says, I think it'd be annoying for me to have a harp with how much humidity fluctuates here. I mean, I think humidity fluctuates basically everywhere. I think it would actually be more annoying to have a harp in like a really, really humid climate. Like, I know Sylvia Woods lives in Hawaii now, and I read an interview with her where she's like, she has to keep the harps and even like her sheet music in like carefully climate controlled like rooms, or else they'll get moldy. Like, can you imagine your harp getting moldy? That'd be so sad. So, I don't know. Humidity fluctuates quite a bit here as well because most of, well, I don't know about most of southern Manitoba, but certainly where I live, it's built on a wetland or like a marsh swamp kind of thing. So it does get quite humid in the summer at times. Is the harp made of cherry wood? I do not think so. It's probably either maple or spruce. I always enjoy watching. Sorry for the machine translation, but with more love from Japan. Oh, well, thank you. I do appreciate that. Thanks for watching. Okay. But yes, it gets quite humid here in the summer and quite dry in the winter, so it can be a little bit challenging at times, but I have a humidifier that I use in the winter. And in the summer, in the house, it usually is nice and sticks kind of around 50-55% inside. Although last summer it got a little bit higher than that. So if it does that again, I think I'm gonna have to buy a dehumidifier, which I kind of just don't want to because it costs money. But we'll see. We'll see. Last spring, like last year in spring, we had a lot of rain. So the ground was very, very wet, which made just everything way more humid. And so I think because the ground was wet, it made like the basement way more humid. I'm like, I'm tying the knot on the right side this time. Yeah, okay. Did I update the string counter? Yeah, we did. We've done 3 strings so far. Good. Do, 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 do. Okay. There we go. Get some loops on there. What a coincidence. We have a very wet spring right now. I hope you guys don't have too much issue with like flooding and whatnot. That's always, you know. Last year it was kind of funny because we had quite a bit of snow, but then it melted okay. Everyone was like, oh, thank goodness, it melted slowly. The snow didn't cause flooding too much. But then we just had like crazy amounts of rain, like way more than normal. And that just sent the rivers like way full, like way too full. And then there's also a lot of people having issues with, well, the rain was so heavy that like it couldn't drain off of the streets fast enough, and then like the ground couldn't drain it fast enough, so people's basements were getting flooded and people's roofs were giving out, and it was like, it was a whole thing. So this year though has actually been pretty good. Like we had a reasonable amount of snow. It melted, I think, in a reasonable way. We've had a little bit of rain, but not too much. It was a pretty cold spring. Like it felt like it came about a month late, but I know like a lot of places have been having heat waves already, and I will honestly take a cold spring to a crazy heat wave because I can't deal with that. But it has gotten a little warmer now, which is nice. We Dutch are the absolute champs of holding back the water. Well, isn't your whole country like below sea level or something like that? Our spring is very divided here. We were dying of the heat for the last few weeks, and now we're under rain almost all the time, and next week too. Oh boy. One extreme to the other, hey? We did have a pretty big rainstorm earlier this week. It just kind of came out of nowhere. I wasn't even expecting it. And I was driving home from a gig, and when I got in the car, it was sunny. And then by the time I was halfway home, it was just like pelting down, like so heavy rain. And then like later in the evening, there's hail. So it's like, oh my gosh. It's quite sudden. One of our provinces we pumped up ourselves from the sea like 50 years ago. Oh my goodness. Harp tuning is similar to piano tuning. That makes sense. Except that you have to tune the harp way more often than the piano. Sag. But that's life, as we've discussed. Okay. That's one more down. Let's see. Oh my god, it's been almost 40 minutes and I've done 4 strings. Amazing. I think probably, because I mentioned I only can go for probably another 20 minutes or so, just because I do have to play a gig later this afternoon. So unfortunately I don't have all the time in the world, but that's 4. Okay, keep going. This one is empty. Let's mark that in my string chart. I'm probably gonna have to like keep doing this later, like put a podcast on or something while I'm doing it. Okay, and yes, that's 4 now. Okay, B is up next. How old is this? This is gut. Why do I have a gut string for first octave? It just doesn't make any sense. Well, I'm not going to use it, so nylon it is. This one's a little squished. Well, don't you like the sound of out-of-tune harp strings? Indeed. Okay. Oh my god, you guys. I meant to take off the B string, but I took off the string I just put on. I'm stupid. Okay, alright, we can save this. I'd really prefer not to have to use another new string. See, this is why it takes so long, because I'm stupid. Come on. Come on. Oh, God. And I've already cut it. That's so bad. Oh, man. Come on, little string. I believe in you. I do. We got it. Whew, okay. All right, okay. We're okay. We're fine. Everything's okay. Now, I don't want to pull it through all the way and overstretch it. So I'm just going to keep it about that. Oh my gosh. This is why I can't have nice things. Okay. What a fumble, you know? Like, take off the string you just put on. Goodness gracious. I think we're gonna be alright though. I think we're gonna be okay. Saved. Oh my god. Okay, let's take the B off now, for real. Jeez. Jeez Louise. Harp strings are very similar to tennis strings. Actually, that's kind of interesting because I read an article that I can't remember if it was Isabel Perrin or Isabel Moretti, but one of them was saying that when she had to travel a lot, when she was touring, playing harp, she would like take the horizontal strings off of a tennis racket and then like use the vertical strings on the tennis racket to like keep her fingers strong, which I thought was quite interesting because I guess they are kind of similar. Okay. Looks like there's a little bit of lag in the stream. I don't know if anyone else is getting that, but I don't know. Hopefully it's fine. Wait, let me play the tennis racket with your band. Oh my gosh. Quite. Also, I'm kind of curious if you guys watched the last video I put up. Was that last weekend? Yeah, it was last weekend. So last weekend I put up a video about a book of harp exercises that I made, which I know doesn't apply to everyone, but I did. I feel like I did a really good job with the video and like making it interesting and like I think it's the best speaking video I've ever made. So I'm curious, like, if you guys had any. I did it. Today is just really not my day, huh? I put the string on the wrong side of the harp again. I'm not even gonna try to put that in the back. I'm just gonna undo the knot and go again. Cause like, dude. Caladria said, I've already bought the books. I know you have. I know you have. Have you used them? And have you liked them? Okay. Here we go. I guess this is maybe what happens when I stream and do strings, is I just make more mistakes, but oh well. Have been playing through some of the exercises. I think they're useful. Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, I just think they're like a really nice sort of introduction to a lot of the kind of just very basic patterns that come up in music. So, and they're really good for pushing technique. Like I practice scales and arpeggios and chords like basically every time I practice when I do my warm-up. So, but yeah, I was quite proud of the video that I made because I feel like in the past, like speaking videos have always felt very awkward and like very scripted and like a little meandering, but I thought I did a good job with this one. So, I don't know. Contains stuff I struggle with since I never really had a music teacher. I taught my instruments to myself. Yeah, that's always a struggle, right? Because like when you teach yourself, there's just things that you don't even know that you don't know, right? I'm a little bit scared of this C string popping out, but it seems to be holding for now. So we'll just continue to trust it. Is there a Minecraft character behind the harp? Are you talking about my my sound panels? It's just foam on the wall for acoustics. Okay. B string. B string is on. Now if I can just not take it off, that would be great. Okay, and I can save that for later. I always do love it when there's enough string for multiple strings. Okay. Come on. It's time to go back in the bag. I know you don't want to, but it's time. Okay. That's B. Now I have to write that down. Do. B. Okay. Well, I'm confused by the number of strings that I say I have left, but that's fine. Maybe I got 3 strings out of that length. That's pretty good. It's pretty good when that happens. Okay. Oh, my 3rd octave E. I'm a little confused. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that after stream is over. Because sometimes, so I try to keep track of like how many strings I have left, and I'll write down I have 1.5 strings left. And so I try to keep like the half-used ones kind of in my gig bag so that I'm like using up, you know, the half strings before I like cut into a new string. So I'm like, do I have another 3rd octave E somewhere? I don't know. So I try to be accurate with it, because if you think you have a string but actually you don't, then you can get into trouble if something breaks when it's like very important and you need it. But okay, so that's now 5 strings. It's wild that it's been 50 minutes and that's like 10 minutes per string. Isn't that crazy? All right, well, we're gonna do at least one more. Let's get going on A. And I am in fact untuning the correct string. So that's always helpful. Oh my gosh. Can you see Nora back here? She's so cute. Just curled up with Bilbo. Having a snooze. Okay. 1st octave A. Here we go. Gosh, I just remembered like when I was in university, I needed to change a string on my rental harp, which was an Aoyama. But I mean, all the pedal harps, I think anyway, have the same like gauge of strings, so like it doesn't really matter which brand you use. Although of course the Aoyama people were like, no, you should use Aoyama strings, and I'm like, but you charge twice as much as Bow brand, so that's not happening. So I went to the store because in Vancouver there was actually a store that had harp strings in stock. Caladrius, thanks for the €5. I do appreciate that. €5 for 5 strings. But yeah, I went to the store and I was like, I need this string. I can't remember which one, but it was like, I don't know, 3rd octave B or something. It's like, I know what string I need. And the guy at the counter is like, can you tell me like what make and model your harp is? And like trying to tell me which string I need based on like the harp. And I'm like, dude, I know more about harp strings than you do, okay? Please just give me the string that I want, okay? Come on. I know what material I want. I know which string it is. I was like, bro, I know I'm young, but come on. Do I carry replacement strings when I go to play an event? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Always, always. With a whole set of replacements. Because the show must go on. So yeah, if you're playing an instrument just for fun, it doesn't really matter if a string breaks and you have to wait a little while for something to come in, but you know, if you're a pro, like, you need to have replacements on hand and be able to play. So yes, I always make sure I've got a full set of replacements ready to go. I always have a full set of gut replacements on hand because they're so unpredictable. Yeah, that's a good idea. If you have gut strings, they do break much more easily than nylon. And then it's nice because then you don't have to wait, right? But it can be a little bit of an investment to have a full set, so I understand why some people don't, but I just think then you don't have to worry, you know, and you don't have to sit there waiting around for your replacement to come. Which was especially true. I used to order my strings through like a music store that's in town. Oh, Nora, you're so cute. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys saw that little stretch. But I used to order through a store in town, and sometimes it would take them like 4 weeks or more to get me a string. Which just, I don't know, it's very long. And it used to be not bad because they wouldn't charge me like shipping. So I was like, oh, you can save on shipping. But lately when I order strings from them, it's like there's someone new that I've been ordering strings from, and they send them to me like through like expedited parcel. So it's like a couple of days that I only have to wait. But of course you have to pay for the shipping. So that's, you know, sometimes like $20 for shipping. And then I realized that the store that I used to order from, like, they started, like, their price was the same as this other person that I'm ordering from. And I'm like, but you're not sending this by courier. You're sending this, like, I'm assuming with, like, all your other shipments. Like, I don't know. So I'm like, if I'm paying the price of an expedited parcel, but I'm not receiving it in an expedited manner, I am not going to buy from you anymore. So, I don't know. Ilu, welcome back. Good to see you. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, I don't know. I think like, yeah, like mail in Canada is like sometimes just kind of iffy. I don't know. Things are just slow. Basically anything harp related, it's like, I don't know, if you don't live in Vancouver or Toronto, just get owned, I guess. I don't know. Okay, that's A. That one only took 5 minutes. I guess maybe I was just out of practice. I don't know. Maybe I was just talking too much. I don't know. Okay. So that's the A string, and now I have 0.5 left. I'll mark that one down for the next time I need to order strings. Okay. Oh, we're almost done the first octave, actually. It's not too bad. Not too bad, in my opinion. Okay. G is next. Oh, another little stretch from Nora. So cute. Do you ever just like look at your cat who you see every single day and they're just doing something incredibly innocuous, and you just are like, you're the most beautiful thing in the entire world. Like, I'm crying tears of joy because you're so beautiful, just sitting there doing absolutely nothing. That's how I feel about my cats. Yes, okay, I'm not the only one. I didn't think it was possible for me to be the only one. And take out the camera. Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah. Okay, I don't know that I shared these photos like on social media. I don't think I did. But the other day, Nora was like sleeping in the cat tree, and I went up to her and I started petting her a little bit, and she like kind of sat up and she like stuck out her tongue just a little. And then I don't know if she was planning to groom herself, but then just kind of was too sleepy and forgot. But she just left her tongue out with this just glorious blep. And she just left it there for like a minute. And I was like, this is the best day of my entire life. And I took like 10 pictures. It was so funny. It's a really excellent cat blip. She looked so silly. Okay. It's definitely, now that spring is here, it's definitely hairball season as well. So Nora has had quite a few. So I got her some of that like paste that you can give them that's like high fiber, and it's supposed to like help them digest the hairballs a little more. And I've been trying to be very diligent about making sure to brush them every day, or at least almost every day. It's kind of funny because Bilbo never really has had a problem with hairballs, but Nora just, I don't know, she's fluffier than she lets on, I guess. Bilbo's a fluffy guy too, and then they groom each other, so I don't know. But since getting her the hairball paste, she seems to be feeling a little better, so. And there's been less barf. So that's also good. Come on. It's so funny with the high strings. You can hear it when the knot gets loose. Like if one of the loops like falls out or whatever, you can feel the tension go out of the string. It's kind of funny. Okay. You need to be tighter. This string feels kind of weird, but maybe it just needs some time. It feels too stretchy still, but I guess, you know, over time it will settle a little bit. Oops, pushing it off the bridge pin. I'm always there like, you're already under so much tension, but I still need to tune you up another octave. So for lever harp, it's important that you leave slack on your strings when you're putting them on. So instead of like pulling the string, not quite like taut, but rather than pulling the string all the way up through the hole, especially the higher the string is, it's true, you actually have to like put it back down an inch, or sometimes more than that, or else that will happen. Yeah, you're like, it's already really tight and it's not at pitch. On pedal harp, you don't do that though, because otherwise you'll have way too much string, because the strings are thicker on pedal harp, so they can stretch more. Okay, you're always putting slack. Maybe you need more slack then. I don't know. Maybe it's a sign. Okay, I think I can reuse that still. Yay. Violins are popular in Japan right now, but I hope that harps will also become popular in the future. You know what I've heard? Is that there's a pretty big like Celtic harp movement in Japan, and that they really like it there. So Well, I don't know how big it is, I guess, but it's like becoming more popular. Okay, that's G. Yay. Okay, that's 7 strings. Wow. Amazing. Okay, that one's been changed. I guess I'm keeping this at 1.5 because again, I think I'm gonna get 3 strings out of that one string, so that's nice. Okay, it's 12:01. You know what? I'm gonna do one more string, even though I was like, oh, I should go at 12. I want to finish the first octave, so we're gonna get this F out of here. And we're gonna speed run. We're not really gonna speed run. I can't speed run anything. I am slow till I die, I think. That's just how I operate. So we're gonna finish the first octave. And then there is one other little thing that I would like to do. I always get disoriented when one of the colored strings is off because I'm like, wait, where am I? So for anyone watching who doesn't know, all of the red strings are C and all of the black strings are F. And they're colored because if all the strings were the same, then you'd have no way of knowing which string was which. So when the colored one isn't there and I'm changing it, I just get a bit confused for a split second when I look at it. I'm like, what's happening? When I was at the Harp Congress last summer, there was a really interesting company that did a presentation. They make harps for kids and like people with learning disabilities where all the strings are different colors. So it's like the C is still red, but then they go through the colors of the rainbow. So it's like C is red, D is orange, E is yellow. I think F is still blue as well. I can't remember the exact color scheme, but all the strings are different colors, which I think for, you know, if you have like a learning disability, then, you know, the way that it's colored normally is like confusing. That would provide more clarification. It was really like disorienting though, like, you know, trying to play something on it. As a person who's very used to the normal coloring of it. But I thought it was an interesting idea. But unfortunately, you can't just like buy a set of their colored strings because with lever harps in particular, each harp has a different string gauge. So it's not really transferable, unfortunately. Are they red and black because those are the most common colors for strings? It's red and black is standard. Sometimes the F strings are blue, especially on lever harp. And I think that might just be because maybe it's easier to color them that way, I don't know. But that's the standard coloring. I don't know why those were the colors that were chosen. I'm sure there's a reason. I just don't know what it is. But I feel like if you wanted custom colored harp strings, that would be really expensive. Okay, almost done with this one. I'm tuning these a little bit sharp on purpose. Just because the pitch will continue to fall. Okay. Good. Okay, that definitely looks long enough to use again. Or does it? Yeah, it should be. I sped up the practice is setting. I know, it's like I start and I haven't done it in a long time and I'm like slow. That one was pretty fast. If I had another hour to stream, we could probably get everything else done, but unfortunately, I don't. So I also have to clean all this up after. Okay, so I have 0.5 left of that string, so I will need to order another one. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Okay, we'll update the string counter. We got 8 strings done in 1 hour. That's very bad. Okay. Do before we are done, and for that I need to grab something. One moment. Okay, so I have a string that has a buzz. This one has a buzz. It's not a very loud buzz, but when it's in flat, it's rattling right here. It's a little worn down there. I could change the string, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to do instead is just tune this down a little bit. And then I have a little piece of flannel. I normally use this as a dust cloth, actually. So it's a little dirty, but it's also covered in cat hair, unsurprisingly. But I'm going to cut a little strip off of this and just throw it on the bridge pin so that that buzz will go away. You heard the buzz. Okay, interesting. It's not super loud, but yeah, if you're listening for it, it is there. Okay, I don't need a big piece. So if this is too small, I can just cut another one, but okay. I have another one of these on my harp on this B string, which if I pull it back, you can see. I learned this trick when I was at music school because we had a few on the harp at school that need that as well. Okay, I'm going to tighten this up and then I'm going to trim the extra. Okay. So yeah, you can tell if you have a buzz there because if you when it's rattling, obviously this isn't going to do anything now, but if you hold the string against the bridge pin more securely and the buzz go away, then you know that's where it is. You know what you're listening for, yeah. It's subtle, but it's there and you're like, argh. One time, Harp Support messaged me and she was like, I'm trying to record and I have this buzz, what should I do? And I'm like, I don't think it was her harp either. I think it was sympathetic in the room somewhere. And I was like, I don't know, record with the buzz anyway. Because that's what I've done in the past. When I did I still do it now. I mean, sometimes I do my best, but sometimes you just can't do anything about it. And generally, a recording with a buzz is better than no recording, you know what I'm saying? But when I did my Christmas CD, this is a long time ago, mind you. That's 2016. I had a bunch of buzzes, and I was like, well, I just gotta do it. Okay. All right. Very nice. Well, we did 1 octave of strings. I'll have to do another octave at another time, probably off stream. But thank you for joining me. I did appreciate the company. So I hope you all have a very nice rest of your weekend. And next week, I should definitely be back for our regular Friday harp stream. I cannot think of any reason why I wouldn't be. So 8.5 with the string buzz fix. There you go. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, those of you playing Zelda, enjoy. Those of you not playing Zelda, enjoy whatever else you are doing. And yeah, that's it. That's it. Just a little bit of string changing. So we'll see you later. Bye.